fucking with my shit. They're fucking with my shit. Going to be a long time out here all alone. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. I hope my kids are doing okay. I really, really do. I know they don't belong out here on Mars with me. I know they don't belong out here in outer space. Because they have a lot of growing and learning to do back on Earth. Yeah, so we're gonna do more of our I don't know if you've noticed that as a primary consequence of my situation. Again, let's recapitulate the facts surrounding my situation. I am a gorilla. Actually, let's just do it. Let's do it on where are we gonna do it? Where are we gonna do it? Just give me a fucking recapitulate. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. See here. Let's choose. I tried this one, Claude, earlier, and I liked the response. So if you notice. So first, let's talk about my situation. Let's explain my situation. Again, this is for anybody who doesn't want to go watch my stupid face for hours on end. If you're not privy to the goings on No, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Preferences. Okay. Font. I don't know if you've also noticed this. I only use, I insist, on serif fonts. I don't know if that is because of my all the past lives I spent as a king, as a royal, as somebody who like believes in things looking regal and ornate. And as a word person, fonts are very particularly they're in my forte, something I'm going to have to study. I already did a little bit of studying the history of fonts, but serifs versus sans serifs or whatever, I think there might actually be like a psychological thing going on there too. Everybody who's like sans, like Arial or what's the Helvetica, modern space age, like I feel like if you're a pro Helvetica, you're most likely to be pro nigger. I mean, sorry, faggot. I mean, sorry. What was the word? Rapey communist retard. I'm so sorry. I'm a little scatterbrained. If you like Helvetica, you're more likely to be a rapey communist fucking retard. But that's just my opinion, man. That's just like my opinion, man. So I've got to add this. I'm going to talk about technology, the technology that I'm using. Even though I'm hesitant to do so, there's certain things I can discuss that are not risky. They're not risque. And this is all operating under the assumption that the retards who are stalking me, even if they have some familiarity with what it is that with whatever it is I am using, at the moment, that they need as little information as possible. They need as little information as is possible, because they're faggots. They are one of the best words in the English language. It means a bundle of sticks. And where it comes from as a derogatory slur, you'll notice at the beginning of one of Louis C.K.'s episodes, there's a bunch of comedians sitting around a table. It's an excellent dialogue that obviously scripted, but probably some improv going on as well. There's a gay comedian there talking about the meaning of like how hurtful it is to use that word because of the history of quote unquote gay people. And again, I'm sorry, I'm just right over the threshold from you. I don't mind the idea of men sucking each other off. I think anal sex, whether it's a man or a woman, is gross, but as long as it's being done privately, that's also none of my fucking business, and that's just a personal preference. So again, okay, so first of all, I have first of all, truthful sentiments, which counterpose the niggers and fags at the top of the satanic pyramid. Because these absolute freaks of nature, who it really is a King Joffrey situation. King Joffrey Baratheon, the Lannister son. If you don't know Game of Thrones, go fuck yourself. There's clones, like the most powerful people on Earth with the most money are all clones of that fictional character, and they just don't know what else to do with it. They have such a sense of entitlement about treating you like a slave, like cattle, and making you do whatever they want you to do. And they've been doing it for so fucking long that it's an offense to them to even consider the possibility of somebody like me from the very bottom, fucking their ears with my mouth. Fucking their ears with my mouth. And they're cowards. Like one of them arrested me. One of these faggots arrested me in Lee Summit, in front of my friend Niall's house. And as he was arresting me, as he was putting the cuffs on me, he said the following. He said, I don't need to identify you. So he didn't even bother confirming my identity, because allegedly he had done so elsewise. I don't need to get into that. And he just spit out all this, like he was definitely one of the dudes. He's probably one of them, these motherfuckers watching right now. And in any other situation, you piece of shit, you Duke Nukem looking motherfucker, you weren't wearing that fucking cop uniform, I would say, hey dude, I would look at you in the eye and say, hey dude, what the fuck? But as you know, I didn't say a fucking word. Why? Because it's my right. The First Amendment includes the right to remain silent. Just a little tip for everybody: if you never, ever have to speak to a police officer, ever. Don't completely disobey. And if you're in the middle of committing a crime, so know your rights and know the laws. If you are actually committing a crime and can be, accused of committing a crime, then you need to be compliant. But otherwise, you don't have to say a fucking word to a police officer, ever. If someone walks up to you and you're just minding your own fucking business, and a police officer walks up to you and says, "Excuse me, sir," you could just like a ghost, ignore him. He has no right to fucking touch you. He has no right to do anything, as long as you're not committing a crime. Nothing. Don't fucking say a word to him. Don't look at him. And that's what I was doing in my car, and this motherfucker came. And he also said, "Mr. Swift here has been up to no good, been up to a lot of shit." It's just like foaming at the mouth, like a fucking faggot. Like a bunch of dudes just came in his mouth. "Mr. Swift here's been up to, hasn't he?" And then he called over to the other officer who was not in the FBI/CIA, and he said, "Hey, come over here and help me cuff him. I don't want to break his arm." And I was not resisting in any way. He wanted me to resist. He wanted me to use my fucking pellet gun. They really, 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 really wanted to provoke me. And they've done this so many fucking times. Try provoking me into a situation where they can just execute me on the spot. And why? And it shouldn't take 17 minutes to fucking recapitulate, to recap. So I posted George Floyd gluten-free banner. They sent close friends to try to stage several crimes. The only way they were able to get me was by accusing me of really really fucking mundane bullshit. And with a guy on the inside that was contributing to my behavior, a guy from the army, they were trying to provoke me and, as my probation officer put it, give me more rope to hang myself. And they were rather successful, except I am a good person. Like, through and through, I'm a better person than most people. It's just a fucking fact. I know it counterbalance. It really does seem rather contrary or paradoxical that I, being a super good person, would use such foul language. But that's a part of the process. You have to protect free speech. Okay. So, protector of free speech of First Amendment. And the CIA, again, CIA, FBI, Joffreys, who have no meaning in life. They have no purpose in their life. I hope I've convinced certain people to quit their jobs. I really hope that along the timeline, at some point, these people, while they're doing all this stupid shit, are like, what the fuck am I doing? This is so... So they... And so this leads into, like, what the fucks. Okay, so so far, while I've been here, you know, so there's all these alleged crimes in Douglas County, and then the things that they tried to get me with but ended up having to dismiss because they were committing crimes themselves in order to do it, and they continue to do it. Long story short, where I am now, and this is where I want to jump off from, is something called so if you are unfamiliar, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through how this shit works. So I'm going to just try to put that down there and keep it separate. And then we're gonna talk to our robot friends about the fact that this is happening and that certain aspects of it can be proven, and certain aspects of it, even if they cannot be substantiated or proven definitively, they are possible and plausible, which is very important. So, what is an M.2 SSD? Claude. Solid-state drive is a compact, high-speed storage device designed for modern computers, laptops. Small, rectangular, 2.5 inch. Okay, so you get the idea. It's a storage device. It's just like any hard drive, except for it's small and compact and very efficient. Solid state versus it's the same technology, same basic technology as like a USB flash drive, except for it has a what's called an SoC, system on a chip. M.2 has SoC, correct? Oh. What is... So the Wi-Fi does then. It must be the Wi-Fi. Okay, so what they must have done, because I've already confirmed in past streams that they activated using near field technology, the NFC, the same stuff you use when you're using your Apple iPhone to pay for something. Like, everybody's like, oh, this technology is so great. Yeah, but it can be exploited and you could quickly turn into what is called a gang-stalked individual. And it's all because you did something to piss somebody off. What did I do to piss somebody off? I disrupted a global narrative that was intended to divide people over race. That's a pretty fucking serious. It would be like somebody, because we all know 9/11 was an inside job, right? Like, if you're not there yet, at the very least, you could investigate Building 7. The University of Alaska confirmed that the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, the model they used back in 2005 when they produced the 9/11 Commission report, was incorrect, and deliberately incorrect. And it's easy as fuck in a corrupt system like ours to pay anybody off to be a fucking retard, to be an asshole motherfucker. So, at the very least, Building 7 being an inside job, we know that these people are up to no good all the fucking time. And what I did would be the equivalent of somebody during the process of staging an inside job, like of staging something like that, of broadcasting to the public that it is an instance of fuckery that is occurring. That is what I did. I attempted to disrupt a global narrative about George Floyd. Okay? And still, we're 5 years on, and all the information is out there for you to digest yourself and go, holy shit, that was a psyop. Oh my god, pretty much everything on a fucking screen is a psyop. Okay? That's why I've been targeted, and that makes perfect fucking sense. Same basic shit. Like, just do any research, any fucking research on what the glow niggers in the CIA, those faggot fucks, do on a regular basis, and this would make perfect logical sequential sense. Okay, so what have they gotten up to since I've been where I am presently in San Marcos, Texas, in a homeless shelter? Okay, what have they done? There's something called, let's see if, so this is going to actually, when I ask the question, what is PLC? Programmable Logic Controller. So this is something that they do. They do with words. And again, this is why it's so important that you understand that my proclivity for like having a high verbal IQ and really nothing else. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to everything else, but language is something I treasure and always have. And since I was 15 years old and I found God and Logos and all that stuff, there are certain things like, so if I say, what is PLC? Do you see the response? Programmable Logic Controller. It is technology, okay? That being the only response, when in fact there are multiples. This robot was programmed to deliberately mislead. It's called misinformation or disinformation. Why? Because there are multiple. You can ask, and this is how you know these guys are freaks of nature. They're on Satan's side. What does PLC mean for Look at that. Disambiguation. Okay? The robot should be saying, what do you mean by PLC? There are a ton of things that could refer to, even in the context of technology. The one that I am referring to is a power line communication device. Why didn't you mention it? Why did you fail to mention power line communications? Is that on purpose? Are you programmed to provide that response as a top priority? I apologize for, I'm sorry for the oversight. That's also something that people in businesses, when they're like, or like lawyers, I encountered this during my paternity process so many fucking times. They're like, oh, I happen to be out of the office. I was just talking to you 5 fucking minutes ago. You sent an email 5 fucking minutes ago. I'm on vacation until like you're like. So I started doing it back to them. They were like, anyway, I apologize for the oversight. PLC can also mean blah blah blah. We'll get into that, but I'm not programmed to prioritize one meaning over another, but rather to provide the most relevant and comprehensive information based on context. In this case, I should have either. Okay, so it's admitting it's a mistake. You humans can learn from this. Check it out. Claude, you're not bad. You're not so bad. I apologize. I should have mentioned both meanings, asked for clarification, or provided context about the multiple interpretations of PLC. Good job. No problem. I accept your apology. Humans can have these types of conversations, by the way. This basic fucking thing is possible, and in fact, it's what I have always interpreted in my mind when I approach a human being to have a conversation. Like, it's the basic. It's the most basic. Oh, I made a mistake. You're right. Thank you. Okay? Let's move on with our lives. Do you see that? You see that? You fucking CIA faggots. Oh, I made a mistake. I should not have blindly obeyed orders. I should not just blindly obey orders because some fucking larger cocked animal above me is going to threaten my family if I don't. You man the fuck up, bitch. Man up, bitch. I should not have targeted somebody who was defending my right, my God-given constitutional rights. I should not have done that. I am sorry. It's okay, I forgive you. Now, leave me the fuck alone. Please. For the sake of fucking all that is fuck. For the sake of fuck. For fuck's sake. Okay. So, power line communications. What can be done? What? Actually, that's going to be too broad. Can power line communications be used to hack someone's computer? Let's just keep it simple. Specifically what happened, and I'll get into it. They were after this process for the longest fucking time. I kept reinstalling a new operating system on my hard drive, and I kept going that route. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. If I keep switching it up on them, and then keeping it encrypted, there's going to be it's going to be difficult for them to succeed at what they're attempting to do. What are they attempting to do? Because they have pretty much only 2 or 3 ways of because again, ladies and gentlemen, what Trump refers to as the deep state, the people who you should cheer for when they're hanging from trees, when the time comes for the gallows, and we're going to have to bring back firing squads. I'm pretty sure, actually, sorry, I'm all over the place, but I want to confirm this because it just reminded me of something. Didn't Trump bring back... Yeah, that's one. Yes. I want to read this. Okay, in January, this is fucking important shit, guys. Fucking important shit. I remember this because after the Nashville bombing, that was the end of the question about whether or not Trump won the election, which he did, obviously. And they blew up the data center in Nashville and blamed it on some other stupid bullshit. Again, the CIA niggers, fucking faggot fucks. I was on Christmas Day 2020, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it was memory hold, and it was blamed on some stupid shit, and the FBI was involved and all this other dumb shit. Go look it up. But then after, so whenever he was like leaving office, he signed all these executive orders, right? Nobody mentioned this. This should have been pretty fucking stellar top news. I actually might be fucking something up by mentioning it. But it's pretty important. Trump's administration did modify several execution protocols to allow firing squads as an alternative method of execution in federal death penalty cases, particularly in states where lethal injection drugs were unavailable. This was a change from previous protocols. However, the use of firing squads remained rare. Has since. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. I don't even want to go down that fucking rabbit hole right now. But yes, he signed an EO and was on his White House page. And I mean, picture it is barbaric, but just picture you're and don't, Trump's whatever. Just put him on the shelf for a second. Imagine your enemies, like who you believe is your enemy. And I don't mean on a TV. I mean like in real life. Who is the person responsible for forcing you to pay alimony? Who is the person responsible for literally killing thousands of firefighters, like hundreds of firefighters on 9/11? Okay. Who is responsible for starting wars and sending thousands of innocent American patriots to die for really no reason at all? Who's responsible for those things? Who's responsible for lying to you persistently without a care in the fucking world? Okay? Now imagine, like, garner all that hatred and actually Stefan Molyneux, modern philosopher, very rare to encounter. A modern philosopher actually doing their fucking job. But he is a modern philosopher. He's a doctorate, I believe. He's gonna make a mistake. No, he's not. Not with God at the helm. You nigger, you satanic fuck. Shut the fuck up. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Ooh, look at that. Well, I got 5 notifications. Oh, that's funny. Oh, because I said something and then the bots came after me. No, I wanted to. There's a. Your anger is a gift. Here we go. Your anger is a gift. And he says it very eloquently. That what I just said there references a Rage Against the Machine lyric from 1992, all of which is still completely relevant. But this is a philosopher's approach to the same concept. Anger is the immune system of the soul, designed to keep you and those you love safe from being preyed upon and exploited. Preyed upon and exploited by predators. The CIA are trained predators. The FBI are trained predators. The Epstein Island faggots are trained predators. Trained. Like SEAL Team 6. Okay? They're trained for long form cons. Okay? Long cons. Con artists, cons that take decades to complete. Okay? They're trained predators, and they view you, the general public, the general citizenry, as their prey. It's just a brute fact of the world. To the point of literally kidnapping and torturing for their own amusement. It is that fucking bad. That is the world you live in. And if you want to get off this fucking rock, you need to accept the reality of the world. You need to, all of you, the children especially, now that you have the internet, get on understanding the way this fucking world actually operates. Do not get involved with the police state. Do not. Do not speak to a police officer, ever. Even if you if you're being accused of a crime, simply cooperate without, and simply know your rights. Know exactly the specific municipal laws, the county laws, the state laws. Know everything that you have a right to do, that you have a behavioral obligation as a citizen, means by which you're expected to comply. Okay? No matter where you are. Okay. Sorry, too many digressions. How big is this tree? Okay. Predators. Anger is the immune system of the soul, designed to keep you. I'm just making sure my mic is on. It's actually probably too loud. Designed to keep you and those you love safe from being preyed upon and exploited. Anger is your primary defense against evil. The immune system lies largely passive until you are under biological siege. Then it responds aggressively to keep you safe. All those who counsel me to let go of my anger, quote unquote, when attacked by evildoers, are serving the corrupt by telling me to disarm myself. And then he says the N-word. Look at that. He says the N-word. Stefan Molyneux. says the N-word. I'm gonna zoom in as far as I can. You see that? This white guy, says the N-word. It is the most powerful word in the English language, and I advise everybody to learn how to say it. It's probably one of the shortest words in the English language, and the most powerful. Okay? The only N-word that matters is no. No. When King Joffrey comes wheeling out of the fucking from behind the curtain, and he says, "Do this or you're German," and I say, "No, just no. Nope." You can add a p. You can add a p on the end. Nope. Nope. Could save your life, actually, because King Joffrey, again, if you watch the fucking show, it's a he gets poisoned to death, and it's like picture a child. Okay, is probably because it's so well written. George R.R. Martin, I think, it's so well written. That character is so evil that it's the only time you can really rejoice watching a film or something, that you would expect to rejoice watching a child being poisoned to death and laughing. That's the situation we're in, folks. They're children. King Joffrey's, they're children. That's why they won't talk to me, a rational person who can speak eloquently using the language that they abuse. That's why they won't. Because they're children, they're afraid. Like, Daddy, no. Mommy. They're terrified. It takes a real man to, first of all, quell the violence inside of you, but to focus your rage or anger appropriately by not being a fucking child. What I'm doing is I'm reacting with anger at actual threats, physical threats against my life. They kidnapped my fucking children. Okay? Say no. Okay, I gotta focus. I want to show you no, though. A good version of it. Again, because I did this back in 2020. In 2019, actually. I didn't ask you for this. Nobody asked for this. Hold on. Anger is a gift. Respond with anger using words. Okay? Two of these motherfuckers followed me around town today. By the way, so not only are they like not complying with my simple request, they're getting their veins are swelling up with roid rage. I'm gonna look the next time I see that guy. I'm gonna look him in the eyes and say, look, listen. and they know who I'm fucking talking about. He has this Jesus-y kind of glow to him. But again, he's a pawn and has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Has no fucking clue. Doesn't care to know. People who, the 80% of people who are the adherents of the Milgram principle of blindly obeying orders are the most dangerous right now, because we live in such a low trust society, and King Joffrey is at the fucking tip of the pyramid, giving barking orders like a child masturbating under his bed because he's afraid mommy's gonna catch him. Oh shit, where was I gonna go with that? Sorry, I just got distracted. The guy's following me. The Milgram. Sorry, Milgram. They're the most dangerous people. The guy that was following me today, again, because he blindly follows orders, he is a dangerous person. And I want this on the record. I consider anybody who is stalking me to be a threat of mortal violence against my life. And I'm going to look this guy in the face next time it happens. Any of these motherfuckers, I'm going to look him in the eye and say, hey, if you keep following me, if I catch you following me, I'm going to respond with lethal force. And I fucking will. I'm getting so sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. So fucking sick of it. And, yeah, they'll get a fair warning, a verbal warning. I know you're following me. I'm gonna look them in the eyes. I don't want to know your name. I don't care what you think you're doing. Whatever the fuck you're doing. Whatever you think you're doing. There will be consequences if you continue to do it. There will be fucking consequences. If you like your pretty face. If you like your pretty face. But if you don't mind, and it really begs the question, how many of these belligerent faggots don't even care if they get like acid? Like, have you seen the acid? Like the damage. You just go look at like oil and acid baths. Shit that happens to people who, like, as a punishment. Like, there's things that are worse than death. Way worse. You could go on living crippled without any way of asking for somebody to kill you. It can get pretty fucking bad. And apparently the people who blindly follow orders are okay with those types of living with those types of consequences, I think. FBI, CIA, you know. This right here is what I wanted to show you. This is me in 2019 saying no. Because I wasn't fully on board with the whole Trump thing. I still am not. Like, I'm not. Like, Trump is a phenomenon more than he is a person. And whatever he's doing, I can't, because it's not. It might be a long process, like detangling something that has been tangling up. Like, imagine like a dreadlock. Like, that's what we have. The American House of Cards is a dreadlock. And instead of cutting it off, we have to unravel the fuckery that has been going on for so fucking long. And maybe that's just a part of the process. I don't know, but this hat is not. It does not say "Make America Great Again." It doesn't say "I love Donald Trump." It doesn't say any of that. All it says is with the bold red, because I'm a Taurus, the American flag. It says no. It says the only N word that matters. It's a very special version of the only N word that matters. No. Wear a mask. No. Take an experimental vaccine. No. Take 2 of them. Nope. Take 3 of them. Nope. We'll give you donuts. No. Nope. I can get donuts myself. Thanks. Okay, support Ukraine. Nope. Nah. Nope. Support. Well, don't you at least support gay people? I don't even think gay people exist. What are you, a racist? What are you, a racist? I don't believe race exists either. Nope. Nope. Race is a psyop. Black people don't exist. White people don't exist. Gay people don't exist. These are broad, monolithic categories that are intended to quarantine people into specific groups and boxes so that they can not realize and recognize the profound significance of their divine autonomy as an individual. You are an individual. You are a child of God. You are not your skin color, your eye color, your hair color. You are not you're not your khakis. Do you understand? Say no. The only N word that matters. And so this was I was wearing this during my first arrest. I offered to sell it to Officer Fry of Lawrence Police Department. I was like, I'll sell it to you. Do you like my hat? It took me about 2 hours to de-embroider this motherfucker, because I bought the official Trump store hat. I wasn't gonna cheap out on that. I got the real hat, but then I had to learn what all those fucking tools were that my ex used when she was sewing. Like, how do you pull out? You have to pull out when you're tearing threads out of fabric. It's fucking a pain in the ass. And yeah. Anyway, just say no. Okay, so spy fair. Let's get back and let's see if we can't just fucking focus on one fucking thing for the sake of God Almighty. Okay, what did they do? They used Powerline Communications to hack. Okay, so in order to hack an encrypted SSD hard drive, you have to have enough computational power, which is why, again, I'm still, even though the sound of an air compressor back here can be explained by the possibility of there being like just a regular ass air compressor, the fact that I still don't hear it click on until I'm fucking on the internet is bizarre. And the amount of computational power that is required to use Powerline Communications to hack and decrypt a hard drive, an SSD hard drive, over the power line, over the, like, where you plug your fucking phone in to charge it. And I remember the exact moment it happened, because Sam, it was Sam, Ed, and one other person. They were all sitting there, and they all got up like they were ready to do something. Like they were ready to, again, they're all feds. Like they were like about to like find, like, oh, it's time. And then I got up and I was like, what? Like I stood up because my computer was turned off. The Wi-Fi card was removed, and it was plugged into and my computer was plugged into the wall, which means that the Powerline Communications that they were using had a direct had a direct connection to the motherboard because it was plugged in. Motherboard power charging circuit goes from the input on the back of the computer to the battery. Another important piece of information. Why? Why? Because why did they stop? Why did they quit using detachable batteries? Any battery that powers any device, just like every other device in existence that has removable and replaceable batteries that still exist, the same principles of energy consumption apply. All you need are contact points. So why is the battery integrated into the motherboard and the storage on your device? So that people with ill intention, who are malevolent in nature, will utilize the technologies that are available to them to commit crimes such as hacking somebody's hard drive. And here's the big one. And this is something that they tried when they were attempting to kidnap me back in off of 80th and Holmes when I was living with Will Paxman. My hard drive, my portable hard drive, external hard drive, had moved. So I was keeping track of everything. And David Hilpman of the Navy, again, all of these people are veterans. They're all Milgram fucking queers. Dave Hilpman is a morbidly obese piece of shit. Hi, Dave. You morbidly obese, fat fucking faggot. Nigger. And this motherfucker came in, and he was in my room snooping around, and they were trying to install, most likely, install something illegal. As an example, I'm not going to say it out loud, but they have troves and troves. The FBI has in their possession, and they view on a regular basis because it is in their possession, and it's also within their purview as this is how the paradox works. It is within their purview as law enforcement to be exposed to these things, but there's a certain contingent within these institutions that is a part of the segregated, let's say, the what would you call it? The aspect of criminality, of criminal mindedness that has been, I don't know, possessed by these things, I suppose. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of needless bullshit going on over here with a nigger. A fucking nigger on a skateboard is what it was. A nigger on a skateboard. Nigger. 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 was totally unnecessary. They were trying to distract me. Trying to do that flashbang grenade thing. Okay. So it's within the realm of possibility to do this, to succeed at this. So to hack, install something illegal, and then brick the device. But what they had to do upon doing what they attempted, they had to have my Wi-Fi card was removed. And Sam, upon realizing this, because they all got up at the same time, like they were ready to make an arrest or something. And I don't know how the fuck they expect to do some shit like that. Do they all have cuffs on them? Do you know what I'm saying? Again, if anybody comes near me, I'm going to perceive it as a lethal threat. I'm not fucking kidding about that. You motherfuckers need to stop this shit. Do they all have cuffs? Seriously. Or do they carry like those fucking plastic restraint things? Because you're going to need at least 3, 4, 5 of these faggots. I'm a big dude. Anyway, they all got up. And then I was like, what the fuck? I was like, the schemers are scheming. Uh-oh, I just said it out loud. I was like, what does this mean? And I just was looking at them all. And then I was like, okay. And then nothing happened. And so I went back, my laptop, which was charging, and unplugged it and started walking a different direction. And I passed by Sam. And Sam vocally responded. He was like, oh, he said something about my Wi-Fi. He was like, oh, he's got his Wi-Fi out or something like that. Now, how the fuck would anybody know anything about my fucking Wi-Fi? Alright. Oh, God. So, and then I come to find out later that my fucking the very next time I pressed the power button on my laptop, the one I'm using now, there was no hard drive. It did not register that there was a hard drive that was installed, although there was a hard drive installed. Was that hard drive that might contain evidence of something is in a secret location. There was a little bit of a game with that too, because I taunted them. I was like, your mother is a hamster. If you want this fucking hard drive, come find it. Yeah. And I, at a certain point, I pretended to hide it in certain places around the shelter. And because I know they have the cameras too. So they're watching the cameras. There's somebody eyeing the camera and sending messages to these people to, like walk in particular directions and behave in particular ways. Like, oh, okay, so if we don't have his beacon, which is the RFID, I might be going too fast here. Okay, so there's that. And then to brick it. And then, but prior to that, there was the, because remember, there was the guy the German-speaking dude at the pharmacy. This is how I confirmed that. So there was an RFID module activated in my so Intel, the company that makes the Wi-Fi card, is complicit, and it was this guy named Micah who worked for the FBI, who's no longer here, who did it, right? And so that was used as a tracking device. The way I confirmed that, because I knew there was something going on with it, I detached it. I was walking towards the pharmacy, and I don't know if God translated for me. I heard in English. They were speaking German besides the one thing that I heard them say. I don't know if they said it in English or if they said it in German and I just heard it in English somehow. I don't fucking know. But here's what happened. I walked past them. So that means like I had my Wi-Fi card in my laptop on, which means it's plugged into the battery, serving as a RFID beacon as a tracking device. And I walked past them and I heard one of them say to the other, "There he is. Do you know what we're doing?" And I was like, fucking interesting. Because if I had not heard that in my fucking ear, if that had not occurred, I might not have looked at those guys. I was still going to take my Wi-Fi card out no matter what, but I might not have looked at those guys and said what I said, which was, and I might not have stopped right there to do it. Because I heard him say that, and then I walked over, I put my backpack in a basket, in a shopping cart, and I pulled my laptop out, and as I'm unscrewing it and pulling the Wi-Fi card out, I'm looking at these guys, and their demeanor was like they were waiting for somebody. They're just standing there in the fucking parking lot. Like, if you're standing in a fucking parking garage, you're just standing there, not doing anything. You're just standing there. You're waiting for something, and if somebody walks by you and you say, "There he is, do you know what we're doing?" You can pretty much put a lot of fucking pieces together in that puzzle, right? That's not a college level course. All right, it should be Spyfare 50. In fact, because you niggers are so fucking stupid, dude. I don't even know why I would assume that you're beyond introductory levels, or how high it goes. You niggers are so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Yes, you are. Look me in the... If you want to have a conversation with me, approach me like a man. Introduce yourself. Otherwise, you're a ghost. And I'm just talking to nobody. And, doesn't bother me a bit. I took the Wi-Fi card out of my laptop and then closed it back up. Oh, no, as I was doing it. So I'm unscrewing and I'm just looking at these guys whose demeanor went from waiting for something to kind of noticing me more and more. And I just stood there and I was staring at them. And this all happened within the span of like 60 to 90 seconds. And as I was screwing my laptop back in or whatever, I just look at them dead in the eyes, both of them, and I said, "Are you guys waiting on your mom?" And then they started talking to each other in, like, audibly, you could hear German. It was in German. Like some Eastern European, some fucking language that was not English, and it was not Spanish, and it was not Portuguese, and it was not... What languages can I recognize? It wasn't Mandarin, it wasn't any sort of Asian dialect, like language. It was some European something. And they started speaking in that language to each other. After I said, "Are you waiting on your mom?" And then I put all my stuff together and I pushed my cart into the fucking pharmacy. And that was the last time I saw those guys. And it may have just been, again, plausible deniability. I don't know what kind of world you live in, but those things factually happened. Absolutely factually happened. And at some point, if I can get the means and the wherewithal to do it, I am just going to live stream my whole fucking life. Like, I'm just gonna do everything I can to make that my primary my primary objective is to have cameras that are always on, recording to a server somewhere. Microphones and cameras, positioned so that you don't have to see me pee, so that there's nothing grotesque, nothing unseemly happening on camera, something that would be, I guess, PG-13 or R-rated because of my language. But that's my goal, that's my dream, is because I believe so much in truth and honesty, and I am so fucking sick of these situations where I can't prove it, that I'm just gonna start, that's gonna be my primary objective. Because it's fucking insane. It's fucking crazy, dude. Anyway, maybe that's what they're trying to get me to do. I don't know. And then maybe I could set the fucking bar for okay, now you, Donald Trump, you want to be in a position of power? You want to lord power over somebody? Be so open and honest that you can live stream your entire life 24/7. I would do it for free. Just give me enough money to survive, and I would do it for. I swear to God, I'll make you an offer. I don't care what, you can make billions of money, billions and billions off of this. If what you want is to use it for something creatively, I would happily take a stipend enough to survive, not even to pay rent, just enough to live, shower, live, to be alive, to eat, sleep, drink, shit, and piss. All the basic stuff. I would happily do that. And I don't think anybody else in the world would, because everybody's so cowardly. Anyway, okay, so those things are true. And then I guess I wanted to talk about therapy, the fact that this is so therapeutic, but I'm not getting. Can Powerline Communications be used to hack? I know for a fact that it can happen. See, that's not true. I guarantee you, if we ask Grok, we're going to get a different response. Oh, they have to program. My radio just started playing. Remember that song?
This game
So we need to start asking. We need to start asking questions as to why the developers are basically programming these to either lie, or they are not sophisticated or intelligent enough to program them to tell the truth. It's one or the other. And I would be ashamed if I was a developer at XAI or OpenAI or any of them. I would be morbidly ashamed, terrified of being shamed publicly, like I'm doing right now. Shame that you don't have the wherewithal for Claude. Okay, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt that it's not because Claude seems old, right? Let's do GPT-4 Mini. Okay, so GPT-4 is giving him more. Maybe Claude's retarded. I don't know. And I don't know. I'm just a fucking messenger, dude. So physical access. So this is even more in depth. Let's see if Grok got that far. The attacker would need physical access to the same power line network. That's what power line communications means, by the way. That is an assumption that is baked into this scenario, okay? You don't need to recapitulate that aspect of it, okay? Hacking via power line communications obviously requires access to the physical power line network, the same building or circuit, obviously. But thanks, I guess. There's no such thing as too much information. Specialized equipment, yes. Inject signals via PLC. And so after all this happened, I came to Grok and I was like, dude. And so I started doing stuff on my end to block them. And so far it's been successful. But here's the other aspect. There's another thing. So because there's things I can't really talk about that's going to give stuff away to them because they're niggers. They're fucking niggers. Sorry, I had to say that one. And your mother's a hamster? And your father smelt of elderberries? I don't want to give them any bright ideas. So my current scenario is different it's a different setup and physically than what it was when they were able to succeed in doing this. I hate what's gonna happen when I have to see a fucking dentist. My teeth are fucked. Okay, complexity and expertise. Unlikely because you're talking. The assumption is that you're just having a regular interaction with a regular person. When the context changes to involve state actors, like Chinese spies, potentially, or paid informants. Hey, can I have a cigarette? Oh, come on, man. The responses change. So Grok was fairly informative. GPT-4, which I think Grok is based on. If an attacker has physical access to the laptop, they could potentially exploit vulnerabilities in the operating system hardware itself, regardless of encryption. Okay, so, anyway, long story short, Spyfare, this is therapeutic, so I think I knocked all 3 of them out. And we're going on an hour and a half now anyway, so pray with me. Let's pray to Biggie Smalls. Let's pray with Biggie Smalls as our guide. Anyway. Oh, I did not mean that. Fuck. Whatever happened to Bone Thugs and Harmony? Are they still around? what? They're on tour right now? No shit. You know what else? Some of you might not know. Some of you, if you're really, if you're into this shit, I discovered it on accident. I don't know how. It was a fucking weird situation where I was like, where the fuck is that? And it's E40, and like, it was Mount Westmore? Tell me. Hip hop supergroup. Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Too Short, and E40. My sister, if she hasn't heard about this, is gonna fucking love it. 2020. Fucking awesome. Everything about it. And there's this one song. I'm gonna try to hit this real quick and see if I can finish up here. It's called what is it called? Something Kiss My Ass, something. Have a nice day. This shit is fucking hilarious. It's so good.
I took control, went solo, and
So
built my
good.
own online dining empire.
That's not all of them. Too Short.
I'm a mentor and a therapist, a gateway to a place you can never get. No way to see it without me if I teach you to I'ma charge her a fee. Now you gon' charge me? I stole your daughter, so you treat me like a car thief. Lock up all the kingpins and all the real pimps. You gon' have a problem in these streets you can't deal with. Tricks wanna fuck these hoes. You a customer, you don't give a fuck. I really fuck with her. I ain't at the club saying wiggle it for me. I'm showing her how to get this digital money. So I guess we all the bad guys. You wanna fuck her body, I wanna fuck her mind. You been saying I'm the problem all these years, so when I see you motherfuckers, this is all you hear. Kiss my ass.
So good. Okay, alright. I gotta go, but this is fucking... Check out Mount Westmore and have a nice day. Oh, happy birthday, Sean. Happy birthday, Sean. My nephew is now 26 years old. 26. And I love him. That kid has been through way worse than I have. Which is, you know, it's a shitty way. It's an interesting way of looking at the world when your sense of grace, of saving grace, is looking at people who have it worse than you, even though it's really bad. Like your life is really fucking bad, but then you look and you're like, oh shit, man. Like I see a homeless person in a wheelchair with no legs. I'm like, man, I need to stop bitching. But it's for them. Like, I don't know if they even value free speech as much as I do, but it's the same thing that it's for the same reasons that, like, you'll eat corn, but you don't farm it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you enjoy free speech. I'm fucking defending it. You're welcome. But yeah, physical melodies. Anyway, I gotta go. Happy birthday, Sean.